So here's what I wish I knew before becoming a video game and anime music composer. So this one's actually really easy. It's one short and simple answer. Being your own businessman, networking, and being able to market yourself. Basically, be visible and friendly. And not everyone understands this at first, and I'm still figuring it out too, because I struggled once my video game music clients and projects slowed down, and really that was just one of my first clients. I started struggling and had to pick up a day job in sales again. And the reason why is because a few things. One, Schmovid hit, so everybody had to stay home, and there was no longer any annual game developers conference or Tokyo Game Show, that kind of stuff. And by the way, if you're not in a good financial position, like I was and am now, full transparency, bouncing back from hitting rock bottom and that sales job closing, it's hard to keep paying for conferences when you're not in that position already to be able to do so. So I know a lot of people that go to those conferences and don't pay for the event, and they just hang around. People throw events or meet up at restaurants or coffee shops outside of it. So that's what I would probably recommend you do if you're new to the industry. You can save more and use it for coffee or food later anyways. Outside of that, learning to be more friendly and not ask for something right away. So, for example, if you're at a conference, or even, this is something that Shimovid introduced, was if you couldn't go to an event in your city or a conference, what do? You try to get work online, on Twitter, which I think is kind of dying in terms of the game dev scene, or maybe Instagram or LinkedIn. So you kind of have to cold message somebody. And I used to do this, so I'll be the first to say, don't ask for something up front, and only compliment them on their game or their project if you actually mean it. So I save my compliments for when I'm like, whoa, like what you're doing with your game is really cool. Like what inspired you to make that? Or it reminds me of this other game that I played in my past. It brought back a really nostalgic feeling. And what are your biggest influences in making this game? Like just little things like that, or telling them what you like about it, like the artwork, the style, like the game mechanics. Like, what is it that you actually like about the game? Because then they'll actually know if you're for real or not. And not offering to be a composer for them right up front. I know there's guys like maybe Steve Malin. He would say if you like what they did, take a screen capture or something of the game or the trailer that they put up, mute the music, and then write your own just for fun, and then send it to them afterwards. Make like 30 seconds to 2 minutes max. I would say 30 seconds is a better bet, especially if you're going to do that a lot. And that's something I haven't really done enough, to be honest with you. And it's mostly because I feel like I haven't really mastered the messaging part. And I never really got much from cold messaging game devs on LinkedIn or Twitter or whatever in the past anyway. So like I essentially gave up on it because I didn't understand it. It was like I was, in Zelda there's like the bomb wall, and that's the weak part of the wall. So the bomb works there, and the wall falls away, and you can walk through it. But if you throw a bomb anywhere else, the wall doesn't break. That's what it felt like. Just hitting all the wrong areas in the wall, and I'd never found the right way through. But there's a story about the gold rush, where it talks about how there's a bunch of people who left right when a bunch of the miners were about to hit gold. And they did it for so long, they thought they searched everywhere, they thought they went far enough, and then as soon as they gave up, the people who stayed got the gold. So that's a long way of saying learning how to communicate properly through message and in person. Start going to, even if it's not a conference, see if you can find some like game developer meetups near you. If you can't, I would really recommend doing your best to find it online before following like the old man advice of go to LA, go to San Francisco, go to Seattle. I wouldn't really recommend LA so much compared to the other ones. Or Tokyo would probably be pretty good. Brush up on your Japanese. Outside of that, what else can I say? I mean, being visible. Not a lot of game composers or musicians or sound designers or whatever are visible on social media. I know a sound designer who ended up working with the Rick and Morty folks on their own video game just because he had a sound design podcast. That's exactly what I'm saying. And they found him probably on Spotify or iTunes. Apple Music, I mean. I aged myself just now. But I think you get the point. Like, being visible, Spotify, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, so people know you exist. Because a lot of composers and audio people, they like the work because, number one, it's creative and it's really rewarding. You get to collaborate with people, but also because a lot of them are more introverted and they like being able to work alone in isolation, which doesn't help when you need to find projects and help collaborate with other people. And the whole point that I'm trying to make here is that no one's gonna know you exist if you're hiding in your room and working on your demo reel instead of making yourself visible on social media. As much as maybe you don't like social media, I get it. It will help you find work, especially if you're not going out to conferences and meetups. So let me stop the video and start taking my own advice a little bit more here. But that's all you really need to know, to be honest. Sometimes someone who's not necessarily as good of a musician gets the role because of who they know. There's no way of sugarcoating that, right? Being likable, being coachable, being friendly, easy to work with, people love that. And there's a lot of musicians that have help, right? Whether it's through their network or whether it's through, let's say, maybe they're really strong at writing music, but they're not very good at the tech side, like production, making it sound like a real orchestra with sample instruments, like polishing it up. Because there's some people that know how to make the music and it doesn't really sound good until they have someone fix it up for them. So like those little examples like that. But anyways, that is what I wish I knew before getting into video game and anime composing, because your network is definitely your net worth. Alright guys, well, get out there, go make some new friends, whether they're game devs or not. And yeah, just side note, you're not your work. I'll leave the video with that. You are not your work, what you do for work. You're a whole person outside of that, so you don't have to identify like, oh, I'm struggling to get work, I'm a failure because of that, blah, 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 blah. That's not it. And it would serve you to know that. So just know you're not alone, and there's someone who thinks about you a lot and loves you. Alright? Anyways, that's it for the video today, guys. If you can and you made it this far, it's free to subscribe, and I'm close to 1,000 subscribers where I can start monetizing the channel, the videos, the views, and live streaming as well. So that would be really helpful, so I can help you guys more and provide more content and never work a 9-to-5 again, hopefully, right? So that would be a massive help. It's free to subscribe. Also, if you like and comment, that helps the algorithm as well. So ask me any questions you have, maybe give a video topic suggestion, things like that. All right, well, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.